Hello, all my Tubi friends. I know the lighting is bad. I'm so sorry. But because of the glare off of these things, I had to change it up a little bit. So I hope you don't mind. But what I want to talk to you about is alcohol ink. And you can see here it is on the surface of my box. And it's got a lot of glare because I put glossy accents over it. You can put it on solid surfaces like dominoes, and here's where I painted in a domino. And what I have in here is a variety of different types of alcohol ink. And the things you're going to need are some blending solution or alcohol. This is alcohol. I have several different types of ink in my box here. I have the Copic various inks. These are a bit more fluid than the Adirondack, so just be aware of that when you're working with it. This is going to flow a lot more than this one. I also have, let's see if I can find them. I also have some of the Fiesta. These are Susan Rothamel Fiesta inks. They changed the name on them to Pinata. So Pinata or Fiesta are the same company. This one happens to be a white, so it's a good one to have. And it just depends on the colors that you want, because the colors from one company to the other, whether you want bright, whether you want, and then of course the mixatives. These are metallic mixatives. And just know that even though you put these things away and think you've got them sealed up, now the mixatives all have a ball in the bottom. So you always want to shake those before you use those. But you can see that there has been some leakage in here. This is lettuce. I like that color, so I'll get it out. This is the fluid mix, kind of like the blender from Adirondack. You don't need all these different things from all the different companies. I just have them because, over the years, I'm a collector. I see a new color and I'm saying, ooh, sailboat. I like that color. Let me get that out. So this is what I have. Now, the other thing that I do are these felt pads. You can make your own. You can cut your own. I just get felt from the craft store and cut it down because I use these, where did I put them? Be right back. I use these block applicators. And when you're working with these, you don't ever want to save these felt pads. You want to toss them because they can start a fire. All this stuff is toxic and, smelly. So make sure that you've got good ventilation going when you're using this stuff. But yeah, these are something that you can do on your own. And then let me put this aside. Some of the other things that you can use a palette knife to spread it with. These are just the little stir straws. So yeah, this is all stuff that you use when you're working with alcohol ink. Now, yeah, this is not my only alcohol ink. You know me better than that, because I have a tub like this. And what I recommend that you do is keep it in a tub, because if you have any leakage, if you have any leakage, you can see like this, you want to keep it contained, because they all do leak and you got to be real careful about keeping the lids on stuff. So once it's open, right? So the other things that I like to use, well, of course, alcohol, 91 is best. And I like to use these types of containers where it's just a push and you've got a little bit of alcohol out, or these pull top like this, where you just pull it up and you can seal it back down quickly. And little ones, like if you just want a little dot, this little applicator is good because it's got the little tiny tip on it, and you can use this kind of like you use the inks themselves, because they come with a little applicator. So if you empty any of these, rinse them out, use them again, because they're good little bottles for keeping things in. Now, something that I found kind of difficult to find are these alcohol wipes. Both Walgreens and CVS have them, but sometimes you have to ask. And they're a little bit pricey. You only get 40 wipes in here. But I find it's nice to have when you're cleaning things up. This one says it's expired. But, little tip, if you have a bunch of wipes in these kind of containers, you know, just regular surface wipes, and they've dried out, no worry. Put them in here and add some alcohol out of your bottle to it, because then you've got a nice alcohol wipe. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk to you about is the surface that you're going to work on. This is Yupo paper. Now, I know Ranger just came out with it, kind of like it's a new thing. Yupo's been around for a very long time. This happens to be a white pad. This is 11 by 14. And I like to cut them down, you know, unless I'm going to do a great big piece. I like to cut them down in quarters so that it's 5 by 7. This is a pretty easy size to fit into a standard frame. And you know, unless you're putting some kind of coating over this, you're going to want to frame it with a glass, just because that's alcohol. All right, so that's Yupo. And let me show you a few other things. I have, let me get my box out here. This is vellum. This is a translucent printing paper. This happens to be, this is Nina, 8.5 by 11. It's 18 mil by weight, and it says, well, the part number's right there, 01566, 250 sheets. And this is nice because what you want is some kind of coated paper, you know, something that's not absorbent. You don't want to use watercolor paper for alcohol. So this vellum would work very well. And this is kind of like the translucent Yupo, because the translucent Yupo looks a lot like this. So that's vellum, and I'll be working on some of that. Another nice thing to work on are these artist panels. I happened to find this one on sale, but this is an 8 by 8 primed canvas, and it's, you know, it's wood, so it's not going to be porous. It's been sealed already. It's primed. The other thing that's nice is clayboard. This can be pricey. If you notice, there are, how many are in here? There's a 4-pack here. 4-pack 6 by 6. I guess it's not that bad. For I bought this for $8.49. Oh, it's been a while, so you might check on prices now. And then this is matte coat paper. It's not shiny. It's not like the gloss paper. You can use the gloss paper, but I don't always want a gloss paper. Sometimes I want the matte surface. So this is a coated paper, and they call it matte coat. So I got this from Marco Paper. It's an 80-pound card. So if you're working on something like this, where you're doing some spray painting, this is a matte surface that I did this on, okay? Same thing here. This is done on a matte surface. with alcohol ink. These are just playing around. And here you can see this is on some vellum. And more of the matte coat. Okay. Now, another surface that's good to work on is the tile. However, when you put it on the tile, you have to figure out some way of sealing it. And when you spray it with fixative, it's going to dilute the ink and it's going to make it splatter. So if you've got a pattern that you really love, just know that you have to stand way a ways and do several coats to get it to work on there. But these are just cheap tiles. I think these are 16 cents a piece at the hardware store. These are some coaster tiles. I bought these at a garage sale. They already have the cork and stuff on the back, and they came from a company like that. So, I mean, you can buy that sort of thing too. There's some more Yupo. And the other thing that I think is essential when you're working with this is gloves, because you don't want oils from your skin getting on there. And I saved my old syringes to do this with too, because you can put your inks right into the syringe and just, you know, get a little bit out at a time. So let me pull one of these out. And if you've watched the video from Ranger where Tim Holtz is talking about doing dreamscaping, yeah, June Rollins. I have had this book for a number of years now, and she does beautiful work. This book is very informative. It takes you through all the supplies, everything that you need, you know, and I think I even got a free video class with this when I took it, because it was something that she was offering. But she does offer some classes, and I don't know if they're DVD or online. I think I took mine online. But you can see the beautiful scapes that she's getting. So I highly recommend this book if you're really interested in alcohol. If you have alcohol in your stash, get it out and use it, just because I think you'll be amazed at how much fun you have playing with this. Now I'm going to put some of this away, and then I want to show you what I'm going to do. Because alcohol ink soaks through everything, what I have here is a box from the grocery. This is just a fruit box. I think strawberries came in it. And what I've done is I've lined the box with newspaper, and then I have deli paper, because deli paper can catch the drips, and they're going to be something that are going to be cool with the ink that runs off, to use for collaging. And then I'm going to put my pieces in here that I'm going to work with. So that's the matte paper. This is the Yupo. And I'm going to take a couple pieces of Yupo out. And the other thing that I recommend you do is to take, first I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to put my gloves on, and let me back this out just a bit. Okay, let's see what we're getting here. All right, we're in the zone here. So I want to put, these are just Nyril gloves. You can get these in a big box. I can't tell you how many, 100, 500, something like that in a box. And it's, you know, maybe $10, $12, not very much. But it protects your hands, it protects your work because you're not getting your skin oils on it. And then you can take a wipe, if I can get one out here. Sorry, fumble fingers. Okay, so I got 2 out. Now put one back. What I'm going to do is take one of these alcohol wipes and I'm just going to clean the surface, because if I got any oil on my surface, it is going to resist the alcohol ink. So I want to make sure that I've got a surface that's ready to accept my ink. Roll up my sleeves. And I'm just going to begin to play. Now, remember this is the matte coat paper. And when you're working with the matte coat, one of the things that they do when they're scaping, let me get a few colors out here. I might want that. Let's get some blues for the sky. Let's get some orange, and actually I want some more earthy tones. Let me get my other box. I think I have some of those are just too bright. And the older Adirondack colors, like cranberry, and that looks like lettuce. And I love this. Well, that's yellow. That might be useful. There's aqua. Meadow is a good color. It's another mixative. Mushroom is an excellent color. I like eggplant. And I want, what I'm not seeing here, there's ginger, that's a good one. What I'm looking for is, there it is, terracotta, because I'm thinking about doing something that's a little bit landscapey. So, what I want to do is just start with something like the terracotta. Let me move these out of the way. I'm going to start with something like the terracotta, and I'm just gonna get some flow going here. And you can see it's gonna move out on its own. And I'm gonna put a little bit of lettuce. Oh dear. Maybe not that one. Put a little bit of this down next to that. And you can see how it kind of creeps out and into the other color. And I like this ginger. And then let's get some other green in here. And I'm going to turn it around. want to do, this might be too bright. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll start with the aqua. That's kind of a green blue. And if things are getting out of hand already, I have a hair dryer here that has a cool button. Or just hit the cool button. Because then you're not putting heat to alcohol. You don't want to put heat on the alcohol. Okay, so let's get a little bit of the dark in here. A little bit of the orange. And then I want some blending. If I can get it open. My hands have not been working real well, so let me get a little bit of this starting to blend. You just have to be open-minded and go with the flow with this stuff, because there really is no I love that I have to save it kind of thing until it dries. You know, you have to know that this stuff has a mind of its own. And I'm kind of liking where those hills and things are going now. So I'm gonna set that down. I'm going to put a little dark into the top here. And if it gets really crazy like that right there in the middle, you can come and suck some of that up. That's going to be a cliff out there in the desert, I think. So this one is still quite wet, and I don't want to keep working that. I want it to dry and then come back and put some layers over it. So I'm going to set that one aside, and then I'm going to move on to some Yupo. Now, that was more landscape. This time I just want to do something that's a little more abstract. You know, maybe something floral. So I'm going to start off with a bright, do I want to go with blues? I'll do one blues, reds, whatever. I'll start with this. And actually, speaking of what I want to start with, I'm going to start with a yellow down first.